Hello and welcome to another session on women's writing. Let's begin Bayan. Bayan by Mahashweta Devi. It is a play. Mahashweta Devi was born in 1926 in Dhaka to literary parents in a Hindu Brahmin family. Her father, Manish Kathak, was a well-known poet and a novelist, and her mother, Daritri Devi, was also a writer and social worker. Her first schooling was in Dhaka, but after the partition of India, she moved to West Bengal in India. She joined the Vishwabharati University in Shantiniketan and completed her BA Honours in English, and then went to finish her MA in English from Calcutta University. She is better known as an activist who is dedicated to the struggles of tribal people in Bihar, Madhya Pradesh, Chhattisgarh, and for her work related to the study of the tribal communities of West Bengal, women and Dalits. Devi's stories are remarkable for their complete lack of sentimentality. The history of the region is integral to many of the stories. The two classes of characters that have dominated Mahashweta Devi's stories are the mothers bearing the brunt of social and political oppression and resisting with an indomitable will, and the sensitive individual. Right from Chandidasi, cast out by a superstitious community in Bayan, which was published in 1971, to the tribal Naxalite Draupadi in the story named after her in 1976, Mahashweta Devi's mothers are too earthly and emotionally charged to bear overtones of any mystical, mythical, or archetypal motherhood. In Bayan, Mahashweta uses the dramatic technique of altering between present and past. The play advocates the minimum rights of women that are taken away by social forces. These social forces have separated mother from her son in the patriarchal society. This can be seen as a part of marginalized sector. Bayan discloses oppression of women. The element gender subalternity is emphasized in the patriarchal society. People in the remote areas are steeped in superstitious beliefs and rituals, and do not hesitate to take do not hesitate to take one's life. Mahashweta Devi criticizes the hypocritical society that prioritizes more superstition than human beings itself. So subaltern, what does subaltern mean? Subaltern means one who is denied an authentic presence. The gravity gets intensified when she is a woman. She occupies the lowest ladder or position in the society. Her presence is not even authenticated. The predicament of the predicament of the female subaltern is the most miserable of all oppressive states. The predicament of the female subaltern is the most miserable of all 6 oppressive states. It is a lethal combination for the subaltern to be a woman. Her life, her dreams, her hopes, and even her basic right to a dignified survival are thwarted by the multiple forces of oppression. She is a victim of racism, classism, and ideologies of patriarchy. So let's slowly come to, I hope you understood subaltern. And let's come to the play. Bayan. What's a Bayan? A Bayan is a woman who breastfeeds dead children and raises them from the grave and has the power to curse others. She's a kind of witch. Superstition in the Indian society. We all have no yakshis and all those type of characters, mythical characters. Likewise, a kind of a witch. Once a woman turns into a Bayan, she cannot be killed, because killing a Bayan will bring bad fortune or misfortune to the entire community. And her appearance, a Bayan's appearance, may even cause death. People are horrified and alarmed to even look at her face, and she is considered ominous, devilish. In the play, Chandidasi is branded a witch by the community. Mahashweta uses the dramatic technique of altering the present and the past brilliantly. It's almost in a dreamlike sequence. The inner psyche of Chandidasi is vividly portrayed. Her own conflicts that rages inside her because she has been branded an ominous creature. She is separated from her husband and her son. She is accused of being a Bayan, a woman or a witch who breastfeeds dead children and has the ability to curse others. Since she works in a burial ground and is at that time lactating, Chandidasi is signaled out as a Bayan by the community. The play focuses on the marginalization of women by naming them witches. All the epidemics and deaths are supposed to be the cause of this evil spell cast by Bayan. And the witch. It is one of those works of Mahashweta Devi whose life has been a crusade for tribals. Bayan presents a moving account of the harsh realities of a woman's life in rural India. Where these women are left to live, they are considered inauspicious, malevolent, socially ostracized, and forced to forgo their livelihood. In spite of deranged illusions she faces, the play revolves around Chandidasi, who belongs to the Dom community, the Mahadalit community, who are assigned by a rigid caste system the duty of burying dead animals. The job is done by the male members of the community. After Chandidasi's father's death, she takes up this responsibility as no male is alive in the family. There is another significant male character called Mahinder, who works in a mortuary to remove the flesh from the dead human beings, transforming them into skeletons. He marries lonely Chandidasi and both live happily, and a male baby is born to them whose name is Bhagirath. Now, in the play, Chandidasi Gangadasi is separated from her husband and son when she is accused of being a Bayan, a woman who breastfeeds dead children and has the ability to curse others. The villagers are afraid to kill Bayan and instead imprisons her in a small hut by the railroad tracks. The play demonstrates the transformation of a working class woman into a public scapegoat and ultimately a subaltern woman with no bodily or social agency. Chandidasi is labeled as a Bayan after several village children die of disease. Since she works in a burial ground and is at that time lactating, Chandidasi is signaled out as a Bayan by the community. Now, tragedies, when you look at the play, tragedies or even tragic events take place in the community. And this is basically because it is an illiterate, or the whole community is illiterate and superstitious. And this illiterate and superstitious community hold Chandi responsible for the calamity. In their strident voices and misplaced anger, they brand her as Bayan, a witch. She is actually the mother of an infant, wife, and also performing. She performs her duty as a grave digger for dead animals. But the community is in no mood to listen to any sane voice. One night, while it's raining heavily, some people discover that Chandi Dasi is moving desperately around the burial ground, covering the graves of children to protect the hungry jackals who are digging out, or protect them from the hungry jackals who are digging out bodies. Soon enough, it is rumored in the community that Chandi Dasi is eating the dead children. The irony is that her own dead husband believes that she is really a Bayan, or she has turned into a Bayan, which is an evil force, and she is to be kept away from the society. Ostracized, she is forced to live away from the community, and whenever she happens to come to the community, she would warn members to keep away from her, keep her eyes downcast, ringing a bell as warning to go away from the she-devil. The society with a stony heart has been constantly inflicting vulnerable women physical, mental and emotional wounds. The climatic scene is vital, where Chandi Dasi fights against the dacoits trying to rob a train, sacrificing her life to save the lives of passengers and public property. So the whole scene, or the end of the play is the death of Chandi Dasi, and thereby she is now, who was branded a witch, is now raised to the level of a person who saved a whole lot of lives. So it has effectively elevated the character of Chandi to the level of a truly tragic one, and also awakening the guilt conscience of the people to the fact that the so-called Bayan is in reality a woman of great character who is compassionate, heroic and humane, because she was the one who fought against the dacoits and saved the lives of people. So one thing that we have to understand in this play is how illiteracy and superstition of a community can physically, emotionally and mentally torture vulnerable women. So with this we end the lesson on Bayan. Thank you and keep safe. I have sent the story of Bayan, and the link is given in the description box. Okay, so click on it and watch the story or listen to the story of Bayan.